Hey guys, I'm the director of Children's and Youth Ministry at Beach Grove United Methodist Church. And today we are talking about having a relationship with God. So let's jump right on in. We all have some really busy schedules. From the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. We have this go to get it all done. Do you ever feel like you're going to forget something you're supposed to do? Or be somewhere you're supposed to be? I know I do. Do you ever get tired? You ask me, I'm always tired. All these things are good things. We have to do chores around the house, go to school, eat, shower, hopefully, or showering, right? And it's a great thing to be able to do those fun things such as play sports, play an instrument, spend some time with your friends, all those things, right? And these are all good things. But sometimes we get so busy with good things that we miss out some really great things. So let's start by reading a story about two sisters. You may know them, Mary and Martha. In Luke chapter 10, it's verses 38 through 40. It says, "While Jesus and his followers were traveling, Jesus went into a town. A woman named Martha let Jesus stay at her house. Martha had a sister named Mary, who was sitting at Jesus' feet listening to him teach. But Martha was busy with all the work to be done. She went in and said, 'Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me all alone to do all the work? Tell her to help me.'" Jesus was very close to Mary and Martha and their brother Lazarus. Jesus loved them enough to decide to come to their home and spend time with them. Can you imagine if Jesus was coming over to your house? Do you think your parents would make you clean up if Jesus was coming over? I know my mom would, so probably so. And this is exactly what Martha was doing. She wanted everything to be just right for such a special guest. Martha was very busy playing hostess. She had to cook, she had to clean, she had to make sure there was a place for everyone to sit down and relax. She had to make sure there was water and towels to wash everyone's feet because that was the custom back then. And this list goes on and on. There was so much to do. Meanwhile, her sister Mary is not doing anything to help her. She's just sitting at Jesus' feet, listening to him talk and teach. And you can imagine how this made Martha feel. She was mad. In fact, she was so mad that she goes up to Jesus and tattles on Mary. She says, "Make her help me." Now, let's listen to how Jesus responds to Martha in Luke chapter 10, verses 41 through 42. "But the Lord answered her, 'Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things. Only one thing is important. Mary has chosen the better thing, and it will never be taken away from her.'" Jesus understood why Martha was so upset. He understood why she was working so hard to keep everything right. But Jesus wanted Martha to see that there is something more important. She was doing good things, but she had missed out on the most important thing. The most important thing is spending time with Jesus. Just like Martha, we can get so busy with other things that we miss out on the most important thing, and that is spending time with Jesus. In our busy lives, we need to focus on spending time with Jesus. You still need to do those other things, don't get me wrong, especially things that are asked by your parents or your teachers. However, we need to be sure that we make time in our schedule to meet with God. He loves us and wants to speak to us. So we need to take time and listen. And Jesus told Martha that Mary had chosen what was better. Mary had chosen to spend time with Jesus so that she could learn and grow closer to him. Jesus wants us to choose time with him over anything else. And this is the most important thing. We can get busy doing lots of important things, but we need to make sure that we remember the main thing. The main thing is spending time with Him and growing in our relationship with Him. Spending time with God is a choice. Just like we put all of our activities on a calendar, we need to set a time to meet with God. Whether it's in the morning or in the evening, in your car, on your way to work or school or whatever, or in our room. We can do it with our parents or by ourselves. Find time to spend with God and growing your relationship with Him. The time that I like to spend with God, or try to spend with God, it's a little harder now, but it's in the morning when nobody else is awake. I just sit and I either read a Bible or take 5-10 minutes to pray to God and with God. And I actually had a friend who said that she had a continuous prayer that went on throughout the day, where she would wake up and say, "Hey God, thank you for waking me up this morning." And she would drive her way to school and she would be like, "Hey God, thank you for allowing me to get here to be saved." Throughout the day, "Hey God, can you help me with this task? Thank you for giving me food to nourish my body, to keep me going through the day." And she would just continue her prayer on through the day. And so that's one way that we can have that continuous relationship with God. So I got some discussion with you, some discussion questions for you guys. You can discuss them with me, Pastor Andrew, with each other, your parents. So just, kind of discuss them amongst yourselves or with somebody. So, first question. Was the work Martha was doing a bad thing? And how did Jesus respond to her work and her complaining? What was the one thing that Mary did? How did Jesus respond to Mary? How does spending time with someone, such as God, show your love for them? Which personality are you more like? The to-do list Martha or the laid-back Mary? I'll be honest, I'm somewhere in between. I was going to answer that one. If Jesus spends a day at your house, what would be some things He might say are distracting you from spending time with God? What are some ways or activities you can do to spend time with God? So an activity that I have for you guys to do this week for having this relationship with God is that I want you to create your everyday schedule. I know some days may look different from others, but just a really good basic everyday schedule. Include the times, let's say you wake up at 6:30 every morning, you go to school from, let's say, 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Just kind of include everything that you do. Where in your schedule can you make that time for God? So after you make your schedule, look at it and be like, okay, well, I can get up 10 minutes early and talk to God. Or I have 10 extra minutes at the end of the day before I go to sleep. So maybe I can read a chapter in the Bible. So that's some ways that you can spend time with God. It might mean that, you cut out 5 minutes or 10 minutes spending some time with your friends. It doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be a few minutes for you to be able to make time for God. And then I want you to write down that time and place it somewhere you'll see it every day. Place it like on your mirror, maybe in the bathroom, just so that you are reminded of that commitment. Actually, you know what? Better yet, what I would do, everybody has one of these shindigs, right? A smartphone, or just a phone in general. Better yet, set an alarm on your phone. Or put in your calendar so your phone can remind you. Just, name your alarm time with God, or put it in your calendar as reading the Bible, whatever it happens to be for you. And I know that is way easier than writing it down, putting it somewhere. So yeah, do that. Next week, we'll be talking about Pentecost. If you would like to, and I encourage you to read, since we are talking about growing a relationship closer to God, read Acts chapter 2, verses 1 through 13. Pentecost is next week, which is why we will be talking about Pentecost. And this is a very strong lesson. So I'm forewarning you now. When I was reading through the lesson, I loved it, and it was a very strong message. So I will talk with you guys next week, and I will see you then.